The music gave me a window into a world that it was practically closed, probably to most Americans and to a lot of people from the outside. I first came here in 1978 on a 6-month trip, so I traveled from New Orleans to Chicago and Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Georgia, and spent a lot of time in Mississippi as well. So that was a start of many more trips to follow in later years, researching and photographing more or less mostly quite obscure blues artists in the Deep South mostly. Even if I would have never shown any of my photographs at exhibitions, or even if I would have never published any of them, I still would have accumulated the same archive because I just did it for the fun of it. I just did it because I thought it was an interesting scenery. I enjoyed the people. I was just focusing on the artists as interesting individuals. My archive consists of about 100,000 35mm photographs. So in a way we had to narrow it down to 30 photographs. We picked out a few that I thought were interesting and artists that I especially liked, and photos that I took years ago that I thought were interesting and had a lot of meaning to my own photographic work and to the people that I photographed. Each of us might have a certain imagination of what the blues should be or what the real blues is, but I guess all the artists I photographed show the world of their surroundings and their background and the reality of where the music came from. I was focusing to start with on musicians whose music I thought was interesting. In most ways it shows a part of their personality. It was, for me, coming all the way from Germany, totally exciting to be connected to a world through the music that a regular tourist would have never been able to experience in the United States. When I was 13 years old, I was listening to rock music, the usual stuff, Eric Clapton and Cream, Kenneth Heat, Johnny Winter, John Mayall, the Rolling Stones. And at that time, those were famous pop musicians or rock musicians, and all the music they played were directly blues-based. It all came from African-American blues artists. At that time, there were 2 promo samplers available in Germany, and when I bought these 2 albums, I was more fascinated with the original African-American blues artists who did some recordings on those albums from back in the 1920s or 30s than all the rock musicians I had listened to. I was really grateful that all of them, the ones I met, played without hesitation for me. It was absolutely amazing to hear artists that I had read about or I had known that had made records in the 1920s or 30s, like Eugene Powell from Greenville, Mississippi, who I spent a lot of time with. So he enjoyed actually me being around and talking to him and listening to the music and taking the photographs. And so it was a really great experience for me. And I always say these days that meeting all these great artists, the music gave me a window into a world that it was practically closed, probably to most Americans and to a lot of people from the outside. I still, after so many years, after more than 50 years, I'm still actually figuring sometimes out what my fascination for all this actually is.